So today, I'm very happy to announce that our government will be investing $460 million in public transit in British Columbia, including $370 million for public transit right here in Metro Vancouver. With the province's and municipalities' contributions, it'll be a total of $934 million to be invested in public transit across the province.
ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਘੋਸ਼ਣਾ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਇਨਫਰਾਸਟ੍ਰਕਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਨਾਂ ਦੇ $120 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੇ ਪਲਾਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਹੈ। ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਸੂਬੇ ਵਿੱਚ $900 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੀ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਜ਼ਿਟ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਲਿਆਏ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਯੋਜਨਾ ਹੈ। ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਦਿਵਾਇਆ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਨਾਲ BC ਦੇ ਵਸਨੀਕਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਆਵਾਜਾਈ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀਆਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਕੀਨਨ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇਗਾ।
You've experienced firsthand what happens when investments like the one we're announcing today aren't made. What happens is you sit for hours in traffic, waiting to get to work or to get back home after a long day. And you're waiting because for a decade, cities like Vancouver, some provinces like British Columbia weren't given the federal investments they needed to make sure that transit service can keep up with growing demand. Last March, our government announced the first phase of investments in public transit, a total of $3.4 billion to improve the reliability and efficiency of Canada's public transit systems, to help strengthen Canadian communities, and to help grow our economy. We have now completed negotiations on an agreement with the province to provide federal funding to support public transit. Our infrastructure minister, Annc, has been working incredibly hard with his counterparts across the country, with municipalities and mayors, to make sure that this agreement is right for the people it will most address. And I'm proud that the very first such agreement we've signed is right here in British Columbia.
ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਟੀ ਕਲਾਰਕ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਅਵਸਰ ਤੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ BC ਦੇ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਅਤੇ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਵੱਲ ਇਹ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਇੱਕ ਅਹਿਮ ਕਦਮ ਹੈ।
We are doubling the rate of national growth in British Columbia. 146,000 jobs have been created here, and we need people. But when people come, it means we also have to make sure that they have the infrastructure there to get around if we want to ensure that this place remains livable. So that's why I'm so proud that through the work, your work, Prime Minister, your government's work, your members of Parliament's work, our government and, of course, our mayors across the province or in the region have made sure that we are the first place in Canada to bring this federal money to our citizens.
As the Premier and Prime Minister said, for our quality of life, moving people around the region much more readily when our population is growing by 1 million people over the next 25 years. We are leading the country right now in economic growth and job growth. Last year, 2015, almost 3/4 of the net new jobs created in Canada were created here in Metro Vancouver. So we need to create that transit service, make sure people can get around as we can continue to grow robustly here in the region.
ਮੈਟਰੋ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਦੇ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਜ਼ਿਟ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੀ ਜੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਨਵੀਆਂ ਸਕਾਈ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਸ ਅਤੇ ਸੀ ਬੱਸ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਸਕਾਈ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਸਟੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ।
And so if you're living on the North Shore, that new sea bus is going to make a huge difference. If you're living anywhere if you're living out in the valley, West Coast Express, one of the best systems, transit systems you'll find anywhere, will make a real difference. The new transit exchange improvements, the new sky trains, obviously, technology improvements, moving to compressed natural gas for some of our transit fleet, that'll all make a big difference. And I just want to finish by a little walk back in history, because of course those of you who know me, you know I'm from just up the street here in Burnaby, and I remember when this facility was built in 1985, back in the day when local governments had to pay over half of the costs for capital upgrades, and their local taxpayers would be carrying those costs. Thanks to our federal government and the agreement that our province has made with Canada over the years, now the provincial and federal funding support for these kinds of projects isn't half, it's 83%.